Nancy Pelosi and Steve Mnuchin are in a full-on stimulus battle. You are not going to want to miss today's update. Hello and welcome to today's October 30th second stimulus check update and second stimulus package update. Things are getting fired up now. Steve Mnuchin fires back at Nancy Pelosi's letter and calls her out for playing games with the American people. If you're a subscribed member of my community, welcome back. And if you're not, consider subscribing right now. Okay, now I just want to say to my community how much I appreciate you guys liking my videos. These take several hours to research and put together, so when you give it a like, it means a lot to me. So thank you for that. Now, on yesterday's video, I mentioned that Nancy Pelosi wrote Steve Mnuchin a letter asking him for updates and ripping him apart in a few different areas. However, it has since been discovered that she sent this letter at midnight when he was at home, not at his office, and then shared it with Politico reporters before Mnuchin even had a chance to read it. He literally found out about it the next day by reading about it in the media. So he was not very happy about this. Now, I try to stay unbiased on these. Yesterday, I kind of ripped Mnuchin apart. Today, it's going to be a little bit of Nancy Pelosi. I'm just bringing you what I'm reading. So don't blast me in the comments about pushing people to Biden or pushing people to Trump. I'm just trying to give you guys what's going on, because the American people deserve to know what our leaders are doing. I've said this before. I wish these discussions were public, because you and I have no idea what these two have been talking about for the last 100 days. Okay, as I mentioned, this did not sit well with Mnuchin, and he fired back, essentially calling Pelosi a liar and saying that she was trying to manipulate the situation and make him look bad. Mnuchin said, "This is a political stunt." He said that he had spoken with Nancy Pelosi almost every single day for the past 45 days, and that they had been working on getting something together for hardworking Americans. He then said, "You send me a letter to roast me in the media?" Mnuchin said because of her political stunt, he has no option but to respond publicly to her to clear up the inaccuracies that she is spreading. Mnuchin says, "The information you say you've been waiting over a week to receive, I already agreed to it, and you know that." He said regarding contact tracing and coronavirus testing language in subtitle D of the stimulus bill, "I already provided you the answer orally and in writing." So he's saying, don't say that I haven't done something when you know for a fact I did it. So anyway, he's kind of calling her to the carpet on that. Now, he then said that the money you want for testing and vaccines has already been approved, and we have previously approved the money that you could be using to go towards those requests. So he's basically saying, why are you even bringing this up again? That money has already been set aside for this. Mnuchin says that he has been trying to work with the problem solvers group and keep her in the loop on what he has been talking about, and she keeps saying that this has no relevance. What do you mean it has no relevance? Democrats and Republicans are trying to work together, so how could that have no relevance? Again, I'm just telling you what's in this letter, okay? Mnuchin then accused Pelosi of purposely holding up a bill for airlines after she begged them not to lay people off weeks ago and guaranteed that she would pass a bill, and now no bill has passed. So she made all these promises to the airlines, according to him, and then did not pass anything. Mnuchin also accused Pelosi of blocking PPP money to businesses, which, you know, they have $135 billion set aside that could go to small businesses right now. So he says that you've been blocking that PPP money for small businesses and direct stimulus checks to the people. He then reminded her that they have already set this money aside, and these checks could have been sent out weeks ago if she would just approve it. Okay? Mnuchin then ended his letter by saying her all or none approach is hurting hardworking Americans that need money right now. Okay, now yesterday, Pelosi's letter was pretty fiery as well, saying, you're not getting back to me, you don't want to do anything with contact tracing, the Republicans, have handled this miserably, and accusing him of a lot of things. So now he has responded. Wow. I bet you these two do not like each other. Well, we know that they don't like each other because she said just in the last week or so that if it wasn't for these stimulus relief package negotiations, she wouldn't sit in a room with Steve Mnuchin for 5 seconds. So there's some bad feelings between these two. But this is now becoming public because instead of having phone calls or in-person meeting, she sent that letter to Politico and then to his office at midnight. So now I think he's just feeling backed into a corner. And so he has decided to reply publicly. Again, I wish that these discussions between Pelosi and Mnuchin were made public because you don't know what they're saying. I don't know what they're saying. All we know is they come out and they give a little press conference. Well, Pelosi comes out and gives a press conference. Steve Mnuchin comes out, usually says nothing, and then goes back to work. So we don't really know. So now it seems that they're exposing each other. Okay, now, I don't know about you, but the part that really irritated me, if it's true, the part that really irritated me from Mnuchin's letter was when he said that the money for airlines, PPP, and stimulus checks direct to the people could happen right now, could happen weeks ago. Money that is already set aside for stimulus checks for people that need it could have already gone out if it was approved. That makes my blood boil. Oh my gosh. Okay. Now, I know many of you follow my channel just for stimulus check updates. So I just cannot believe that he's saying they have the money and have not approved releasing the money. I know many of you, Republican and Democrat, because you've told me your party affiliation, have asked, why didn't President Trump just release this money? Now we have insight on why it wasn't released. It's there. It just needed either Pelosi or Congress to approve that. So shame on you, Congress. Shame on you. There's over 100 million people in America that could benefit from this money right now. And it's already set aside and you just haven't approved it. Now, I'll be the first to admit, it's not clear if Nancy Pelosi is single-handedly holding this up by not approving it, or if it's the entire Congress. My gut tells me it's probably the entire Congress and not just her. But this information is coming to light now. And we've all been wondering, why is this money that they're saying is set aside not being appropriated and sent out to us? My own sister-in-law was laid off from Delta because they didn't keep their promise and send that money. Isn't it sad that our supposed leaders now have to share their secrets and expose each other's poker cards through sending each other letters through the media? It's just kind of gross to me. These people better come back to Washington, D.C. after the election next week and get to work for you and me. It's just shameful. It's absolutely shameful. Now, I did try calling Nancy Pelosi's office twice today. The first time I was disconnected after sitting on hold, and the second time it went to voicemail. And I left her a voicemail telling her my opinion and some personal stories and mentioning you guys. In fairness, I did try calling Steve Mnuchin's office as well, but it just kept pushing me to the IRS, and there was no point in trying to even reach him. but I did try to reach both of their offices. I know that both sides, Republican and Democrats, have not acted in the favor of the American people. I know that both of us, both sides have let us down. I know that both sides have dragged their feet in one way or another. So my hope and prayer is that they will come back to Washington next week and sit down and work this out. I'm hoping that the pressure that they should be feeling is enough to get a deal done, but I don't know, after 100 days, it just seems like they're beyond feeling any kind of pressure. However, if there's any good news going into the weekend, it's that they are communicating and we are now seeing their secrets come to light. Also, there is indication that stimulus talks will resume after the election, but at this point, I'll believe it when I see it. This is my update for today on the stimulus checks and stimulus package situation. As I know more, I will share more. I just want to say that my heart goes out to my fellow Americans that are caught in the aftermath of the most recent hurricane. I read that over 2 million of you are without electricity right now. Please stay safe. It's just a shame that we're either being soaked with water on one side of the country or burning on the other. So, a lot going on. Keep your heads up. Stay strong. Don't forget, you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community. Have a great weekend. The best weekend you can anyway. I'll see you on the next video.